welcome back to my channel. My name is Adrienne and I have been purchasing quite a few books recently. I just keep seeing things that are getting me excited, and before I knew it, I had a massive amount of books. So I'm going to share them here with you today. There are a lot of books that I'm so excited for. Let me know if you've read them and what you think of them, because I'm trying to prioritize which ones I want to read first. The first one is one that is crazy popular right now, The Will of the Many by James Islington. This is a fantasy book set in a magical school where our main character is there to solve a murder. I've heard nothing but good things about this book. Even people who don't normally read fantasy are loving this book. They love the reveals. It's a pretty thick one. I did get the new cover. I know a lot of people don't like this cover, but it's going to match the sequel. And I'm already assuming I'm going to love this book and want to read the sequel. So first up is a very exciting fantasy book. Next up is another one I got for all the hype it's been receiving, The Book of Doors by Gareth Brown. This one is a magic system where someone finds a book and they can use that book to transport them different places. I love, is that movie called The Adjustment Bureau? Similar concept, but I really enjoy a book that has a thriller feel to it, but it's fantasy or sci-fi. And from what I've heard, that's exactly what this is. It's been receiving a ton of praise, and it just sounds like a great time and one that I will really enjoy. Then in my Book of the Month box, I got Famous Last Words by Gillian McAllister. This one was very exciting to see on Book of the Month because I had pre-ordered it, and Book of the Month is a lot cheaper than buying a brand new hardcover book. So I was very excited to pick this one up, and it actually I think was a little bit earlier than the release date. But this one is a thriller where a woman wakes up and finds a note from her husband that changes everything, and he has went and taken some people hostage. So she needs to figure out why the heck he's doing that and what's going on. And I've recently read Gillian McAllister, Just Another Missing Person. I love Wrong Place, Wrong Time, so I'm excited to read her newest one. I am a little disturbed by Book of the Month though, because they've been getting cringier and cringier with their stuff. I won't be using that bookmark. And then the other book that I threw in my box as an add-on is The Ministry of Time by Kaylee and Bradley. Again, a book I keep hearing great things about. This was voted like one of the best sci-fis of the year. To me, it sounds more like a romance, but basically time travel's a thing. This woman works for a company that brings people from different timelines to present day, and she's assigned to this guy from the past, and she has to like take care of him and watch after him. And I think they fall in love. Is this a romance or is this like an action fun sci-fi? I'm not sure, but I'm excited to find out because I've heard so many good things about it. Then if you watched a recent video of mine, my favorite books of all time, I mentioned Prosper's Demon by KJ Parker, and also that I need to reread it because I read it so quickly and I fell in love and I have such fond memories, but I can't really remember it that well, and I didn't even own it yet. So first off, why was it printed like this? I'm not thrilled about that, but otherwise I'm happy to have this book. I need to reread it soon because I want to see, is it really as fantastic as I remember? I remember it being so great. But this follows a man who has the ability to see if people are possessed by a demon, and he can exorcise the demon from them. But exorcising demons hurts the person that is possessed by them. But he kind of doesn't care. He has a very funny, dry personality, and he's very like morally gray. And yeah, just seeing him go rip demons out of people is a good time. Looking forward to rereading this soon. Next up, I picked up The Dead Cattail Assassins by P. Djeli Clark. I've never read a book from him yet, but I've heard great things, and it's blurred by Victor LaValle, who I absolutely love. And if he says Peter Djeli Clark couldn't write a bad book if he tried, I think I need to read it. So this is like a fantasy novella. It follows an assassin who is carrying out a contract job at some sort of festival. Sounds like a good time, and it looks like it'd be a good little taste test to see if I enjoy this author. Next up, I have a questionable purchase that I don't know why I needed this book right now, but something got into me. I ordered a couple books that I don't know when I plan to read, but I thought I should have it. And that is The Stand by Stephen King. It's crazy big. This extraordinary bestseller of modern times, complete, uncut, and illustrated. So this is The Stand. It is, what if I spoiled myself right now? It's over 1,100 pages, but this is an epic apocalyptic story where there's a virus that sweeps the world and there aren't that many survivors left, but we follow the survivors through some harrowing times. And I did want to get this book because I'm pretty sure there is an anthology coming out later this year where popular horror and other authors of present time write stories set in this world. If that many people are inspired by The Stand, and obviously it's a Stephen King classic, I want to read it. And then how intriguing to see like Stephen Graham Jones write a story set in this world. I don't know, really cool concept. Very intimidating book though, so we'll see how that goes. And then while I was at it, why not pick up The Shining by Stephen King? This is the classic horror set in a hotel with the twins and the spooky stuff going on. And I really want to read it. I love this cover. I didn't realize there's like a scary screaming face in it, but that just makes it fit even more. But I love this like wintry, beautiful setting. So when I saw this book available, I just thought I would grab it. I don't know when I'm going to read it, but I'm excited to have it. This one's not as big. It's only like 700 pages. I have read some Stephen King before. I haven't loved anything besides his nonfiction, but I need to get some of his classic ones because those aren't the ones that I've read. And if I really want to give him a chance, I need to read the most beloved Stephen King. So if you have Stephen King suggestions, let me know. Oh, and then I did pick up another KJ Parker, which I probably didn't need, but I just wanted it. This is 16 Ways to Defend a Walled City. I obviously love KJ Parker from Prosperous Demon, but I've never read a full-length novel by him. I don't think his full-length novels are usually actually fantasy or have any magic, but just knowing his writing style, I'm probably going to enjoy it. This book follows an engineer who is tasked with protecting this city, and I'm sure it'll be great. So I had ordered some of these from Book Outlet, and when I order from Book Outlet, I like to hit the $35 total to get free shipping, which means if I don't have a book that I'm interested in, I'll pick up one of their Paper Mill classics. So they have their own line of covers that they make here that are really pretty, and I have a little collection growing up. So I picked up Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen and The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain, which this cover is actually awful because you can't see, even in person, half the words, but it's pretty. And I do kind of want to read this book so that I can read James by Percival Everett, which is not in the stack, but a different Percival Everett is here. James is a retelling of Huckleberry Finn. And I have read this one before, but I wanted to reread it. I have not read this one before, but, you know, I keep talking about all the, like, new books I want to try. And I've never read a Jane Austen. So, why not? And then picking up a classic sci-fi book, Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card. I know this book is very well loved, classic sci-fi about a boy who goes to like military school in space. So again, I just want to keep trying out these genres, and this is one that is very highly rated and loved even 50 years later. Oh, and then I picked up a sequel, Everybody on This Train is a Suspect by Benjamin Stevenson. I read the first book, which is called Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone, and I really enjoyed it. This one still follows our same main character, but in the first one he is on a family trip. This one he is on a train ride with a bunch of other authors, so he writes murder mysteries and books on how to write murder mysteries. So he's on a train with a bunch of other murder mystery authors, and someone dies or multiple people die, and he's like on the case, which just sounds like a good time, like a closed door mystery, but with other authors who would perfectly know how to hide a crime. So excited to pick this one up soon. And then a book that I had never heard of or saw before, In the Shadow of the Fall by Toby Agundaran. This is another little fantasy novella. This one follows a woman who is wanting to become a priestess, but she's waiting for her magic to be sent to her. Everyone around her is getting her magic, but she's not. Magic comes from the Orisha, and she decides she's going to steal an Orisha to like force along the process, which obviously can only bring bad things. It gets some enemy sect sent after her, and yeah, it looks really cool, and I thought I would try it out. Next, just like last book haul, I picked up another T. Kingfisher, A Sorceress Comes to Call. I just love T. Kingfisher and want to read more of her books. And this one follows our main character whose mother is an evil sorceress and forces her to behave strangely. She can't have any friends. She sometimes is not allowed to talk or move for days. And her only friend is a horse that she gets to ride every day. But her mom, I think, finds a new husband who also has a child. And she's afraid for that family that they're going to be like her next victims, but instead she ends up bonding with them and kind of having a newfound family that maybe helps her with the situation she's in. So I've enjoyed everything from T. Kingfisher so far, so I'd like to read everything they've written. And then I'm actually planning a sci-fi reading vlog, which is what Ender's Game was for and what the next few books are for. So I picked up This Is How You Lose the Time War. All I know is that this is about two secret agents or assassins or something that are traveling through time and writing each other letters and falling in love. That's all I've heard. I feel like it's going to be confusing because I've never heard like a thorough description about what's actually going on, but I'm willing to give it a try. I know a lot of people love that book. And then I picked up two Jeff Vandermeer's, Annihilation, which is probably his most popular book, and then Born, which I've seen like a lot of people enjoying recently. I think are they both like post-apocalyptic books? I don't know, but Annihilation has this new cool cover and it's like this weird long-legged pig boar critter. I don't know, my sister says I should read this one and I do it, she says. Then I have Masquerade by O.O. Sangoyomi. Beautiful cover, look at the elephant. This one is set in West Africa where a woman is kidnapped by this vagrant man, or she thought he was a vagrant, but turns out he's actually a wealthy warrior king that has taken her to be his bride. And I know it's loosely based off of the Persephone myths, so it seems like it'll be a magical, fun time exploring 15th century Africa. And I want to know, is there an elephant character? Because that'd be really fun. Then I've been not purchasing sequels to books that I haven't read the first one of. Is that true? Yeah, I mean, I think it's true. I picked up Bloodmarked by Tracy Deonn because I'm going to an event with Tracy Deonn. I'm going to be reading Legendborn and Bloodmarked in the next couple of weeks so that I can be up to date for the new release of the third book in the series, Oathbound, or I don't know what it's called, but I need to read the first two books. These follow a girl who goes to college and there's like a Knights at the Round Table club there, magic powers and such. It is YA, which I have not been reading for quite some time, but I want to give these one a try, specifically so I don't get spoiled when the author talks about the third book. But I think they could be good. I might be able to enjoy them. I hope so, because I do love a magical school setting. So I'll let you know once I read them. And then last but not least, I told you there's a Percival Everett in this list of books, and I picked up The Tree. So this is it's a satire, funny, but also dark and serious book about these dead bodies are being found. And one of the bodies accompanying these dead bodies looks like Emmett Till. And this keeps happening all over the country. And people are trying to figure out what the heck is happening. And that just sounds so intriguing to have like a fiction book with like a little bit of magic in it, but referencing a real life person and event. So no idea, but this will be my first Percival Everett book. and I'm really excited about it. So that is everything that I got. Let me know what you've been picking up recently and which of these books that you've read. Otherwise, I'll see you again very soon in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.